that been tested by any chance? Because I brought that back as faulty. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection challenge, the series where we go and pick up some video game deals, flip some of the deal to make our money back or make a profit, which is always nice, and then we take the rest into CEX, trade it in, get a voucher, build what you see behind me. Not everything is from CEX behind me. We do some Facebook Marketplace pickups. We go to random people's sheds and hunt through them as well. That's where all those PS1 games have come from, but everything you see behind me is basically free. I didn't pay a penny for it because we're flipping, making our money back, and then we're doing other things. So if you've missed any of the previous episodes, go back and check them out. There's 25 or so. And you will also need to know the history behind the CEX saga that has been going on this in this series for quite a while. I know a lot of people might be bored of it, but it's just something that's happening, and I feel the need to continue with it. Plus it gets views and I enjoy views. But it's just really annoying. So the whole Mega Drive boxed unboxed debacle, that's kind of in the past now. We can let it go. I'm going to put it down to one employee being arsey. Whether he meant to be or whether he didn't mean to be, I don't know. Incidentally, I've not seen him for weeks. I don't know whether he's left, they sacked him, I've just been lucky or unlucky not to bump into him. I really don't know. He lives quite near me as well, because I remember walking back from town once. I saw him walking from a house that's quite near me, so I kind of think I know. Not that it matters, but I think he's near me. But I've not even bumped into him or anything. I've not seen him, so I don't know. Keep you updated on that. But the other thing that's happened, of course, is that I bought a Wii U game from them, took it back because it didn't work. They cleaned it, it didn't work still, took it back, exchanged it, bought a Mega Drive game, that didn't work. They wanted to test it, despite the fact that they wouldn't have tested it when it was traded in. They would have just looked at it. In the end, they took it back because they didn't have a Mega Drive to test it on, which is quite important to remember. And then when I got home, I looked just out of curiosity to see what Mega Drive games that store had, and they put the one that I took back as faulty up for sale, and it's been there ever since. It's still there. I went in and talked to them about it. Now, I'm not going to be shoving cameras in people's faces, so it is going to be just a black screen, but I have put subtitles. This is what happened. Alright. Do you have any Mega Drive games by any chance?
Box 1.
Right, okay.
We've got the one box. So, one ball. Got Mermaid. Castlevania.
Can I have a quick look at that and see if the manual's in there, please? Right, okay. That's fine, I'll take that anyway. That one?
Yeah.
Has that been tested by any chance? Because I brought that back as faulty.
If it was brought back as faulty, more than likely would have been checked.
Right, okay.
Can't guarantee. I think. Have we got a Mega Drive or something here?
I just don't know whether you would have brought it back in and tried to clean it up or something. Because I tried to clean the pins on it, but it didn't do anything.
We've only got the mini version.
The rest of that is inaudible. However, there are three people. Let me paint the scene. There's a woman that I'm talking to specifically about games, and then the other woman to her right sort of was listening in and brought the box of games onto the counter, while the original member of staff that I spoke to was busy printing off a list of said games. Really confusing. And then when it got down to the hey, has this been tested, they called to a guy who was behind a screen. That's why his audio is very, very quiet, and he's always the one that they go to because he seems to be the boss. I don't think he is actually the manager. I think he's the assistant manager. We've been through this before. However, he's the one that they always ask, and he's the one that's always the furthest away, which is really frustrating. The rest of it, like I said, is inaudible, but he admits that it would not have been tested because they didn't have a Mega Drive, and that it's just been put back on sale, which I find unbelievable. And I don't know why I didn't do it, but realistically I should be saying, so what you're saying is that you're calling me a liar, because that's basically what they were doing. I took it back as faulty in good faith. I want the game, right? It's Toy Story. I want the game. The audio has got a really loud buzzing in the background. Like it's not just like, oh, I think you might be able to hear it. No, it is over the music. It is loud. And the game doesn't get past the menu. I've cleaned it. I know what I'm doing. It still doesn't work. The cartridge is essentially knackered. I don't know whether it can be professionally cleaned and then maybe it would work, but I think there's something more sinister wrong with it than just dirty pins. But there we are. But they've put it back on sale. And does that mean that they didn't believe me, or are they then waiting for it to be brought back again? I don't know. It is a real... Thing is, right, if this wasn't my local CEX, I probably would have said, so you're going to sell that again even though I've brought that back as faulty. And I would have probably had a little bit of an argument with them. But as it's my local CEX, the last thing I want is for them to say, look, don't come back here anymore, you're banned. Because it can happen. And, they can what's the word? Reserve the right to refuse sale to anyone. And that's their prerogative. And okay, I could try and complain about it, but I don't want any bad blood between me and the employees, except the guy who has a grudge against me for some reason. Him, I'm more than happy to have an argument with, and if it was him, I would have, just out of spite. But it's interesting that if you take a game back as faulty, genuinely faulty, they will try and resell it. And the more interesting thing about that was that the Wii U game I took back, the Sonic Racing Transformed, I think it was called, I took that back to the Merthyr store. They have it on sale because they didn't have one, because he said, I don't have one to swap with you. You're going to have the voucher back. And then I picked up Toy Story. But yeah, they put it on sale and it's still there. So they're going to sell a faulty game to someone and it's not going to work. It's going to come back. I don't understand it. That must just be a thing. If it's faulty, just stick it back in the pile. If it comes back 3 or 4 times, maybe then we'll listen. So if you buy something from CEX, don't throw away the receipt. You will, I wouldn't say more than likely need it, but there is a very fair chance that you will need it because that item could very well be faulty. Shocking behaviour. Anyway, should we get into some pickups? So, realistically in this series, what we like to do, as I've mentioned, is go out and pick something up that we can flip to make money on, and then that money pays for the games. Or we can pick it up, flip part of it, take the rest into CEX, and then get credit back. In this instance, I don't know if I actually want to sell what I've picked up to flip. So boot sale footage, I'll let it run over the top of me speaking. It's nothing exciting. I was walking around this boot sale in Sully and I thought my camera was recording and it wasn't. So you didn't see me pick up the item, but if you can see it, it's hanging out of the bag. It is a guitar. So what guitar is it? What console is it from? Can I even pick it up because it's wedged between my desks? It is a Guitar Hero. I don't even know if it's... is it the original or is it Guitar Hero 2? It's a PlayStation 2 Guitar Hero guitar. Now I have tested this and it works fully and it is the exact same size as the other guitars are as well, which I thought was a little bit weird because I thought it'd be a little bit smaller. This is the one that doesn't have a detachable neck. But this, and you're going to have to take my word for it because there's absolutely no footage of it, but you can see that I did pick it up in a boot sale. This was £2. I saw it leaning up against a table. It was slim pickings. It had rained the night before. There weren't that many people there. It was a bit of a downer, to be honest. However, I picked up a couple of things. This was one of them. And yeah, it was just leaning there. £2. Yes, please. I was there for ages as well. I knew I was going to buy it, but I was there for ages, getting it on, because I got my bag on and the camera's on my bag, and I'm there trying to get all the angles of it and lift it up, and I'm doing that with it and everything. And yeah, it wasn't even recording. I went into a shop called Regenerate, which you'll see me go in here, and I picked up a game for this because Guitar Hero games in CEX, they're not too expensive for the PS2, but they're not that common. They don't have any where I am. So I went in and I found this. Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock in good condition. I don't think it was meant to be in the case on the shelf, but it was. Someone put their bike in the way, and they always do this in the one by me. They put their bike in the way of the games. Get off and go have a look around. I can't look at the games if your bike is in the way, but anyway. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. They've scribbled out the price and just wrote 99 pence on it. Most of the PlayStation 2 games are 99p, which is good to know for the future because I think in the next episode where we go and spend cash, I'm going to go into Regenerate, which is a pawn shop, And I'm just going to pick up games from them because they go on eBay, but at the same time, they just like to get rid of some stuff. There was a decent looking PS2 game there as well. I didn't look at the price of it. PS1 game, sorry. That sells for about £12-15. I can't imagine they would be selling it for that. I can't remember what it was called. Something Thunder? Anyway, that I will look at next time I'm there. There's loads of other games. I've got a cabinet full of stuff as well. I've picked up a couple of things in the past. But that right there is about £25. I think I will sell it. I have played a little bit. And the thing with Guitar Hero is I wanted it for the longest time. But when I start playing it, when I'm about, I don't know, 25% way through the song, I get bored. I'm thinking, do you know what? I should just rather listen to the song and not have to do this. Because if I miss a note, I get a little bit frustrated, and then I miss another one and I'm getting like, oh, this is annoying. I should turn it off. So back in the day, I wasn't like that. I was more than happy to persevere and learn it and get really good at it. And then, yeah, I'm not very good at it anymore. It frustrates me. So I like the idea of playing Guitar Hero more than I do actually playing it. I think that's going to go. That was £1. That was £2. That's £3 into 25, which I think is quite conservative really. I will push a little bit more, but £25, let's just say £20 profit. Don't mind if I do. Now, in that pawn shop, I picked up a Mega Drive game, which I'm going to keep for the collection. In fact, I picked up 2 Mega Drive games that I'm going to keep for the collection. The 5 remaining games that I've picked up for the collection are actually Mega Drive games as well. So, where did I get them from? 2 of them came from Regenerate. 1 of them came from CEX. You would have heard me talk about that in the Blackness clip of subtitles. I actually used my £12 credit to get that. We'll talk about that in a second. So the footage you would have seen is me picking up Rugby World Cup on the Mega Drive. This is a fantastic game, or so I thought. If you like rugby, I'm sure it's fine. But as a kid, I used to play this a lot, even though I don't like rugby. It is complete as well with the manual, as you can see. It used to belong to a Chris Beale. So if you're watching this, Chris Beale, I have your copy of Rugby World Cup. You can have it for a tenner. It cost me £5, believe it or not. I can't believe I actually spent £5 on that. But I did. As a kid, I used to play that a lot. I put it in to test when I got home. I don't really like it that much anymore. I don't know why. Players clip into the floor. The ball goes a little bit missing sometimes. When you're pressing buttons, it's not always there. I don't remember that as a kid. Maybe it's because games have come on so far that I'm noticing how bad that actually is, but either way, I will go back to it again and again. John Aloma Rugby we have on the PS1 though, that's one I'm looking forward to getting into. I haven't yet. When I was at the counter as well, I had Guitar Hero 3 and I had Rugby, and I said, do you have any more Mega Drive games? He said, I think I've got 1. Oh, what is it? Of course it was FIFA. But when it comes to Mega Drive games, I'm actually a little bit, I don't care if it's FIFA, I still want it. So they had a FIFA and I bought it. It doesn't have a price on it because it was out the back. This is FIFA 97, not the best FIFA on the Mega Drive. It's not even the second best FIFA on the Mega Drive. The best one is 96, the second best one is 95, and then it's this one. I think 99 did come out on the Mega Drive. It is complete. I don't think this one belonged to Chris Beale because it doesn't have it written on the manual, but it is complete. This was 99 pence. I don't know why. Rugby World Cup 95 was £5 and this was 99p, but it was. So I was not going to leave that there for that. To be honest, FIFA 97, what does it sell for? Not a lot, if I'm honest. It really doesn't. So, next game, I would say 3 of these are bangers, but I'm not going to call this one a banger. This is the one I got from CEX. Aladdin. Love it. The unfortunate, and you can see it's come from CEX because it's got their barcode on the back. This was £10 boxed. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the manual with it. Because I did ask, does it come with a manual? They said no. I kind of didn't want to leave it there. The really frustrating thing about this is there were 2 games in that CEX that I really wanted. This and a Batman game. I can't remember what it was called. That was boxed as well, £15. It's gone. It was there for so long as well because I kept looking, thinking, right, I need to go into CEX to pick this up. And I kept thinking and I kept putting it off and putting it off. Oh, there's the receipt, by the way. I don't know if anyone's really that interested. So, are you going to get to see? Yeah, so it does say payment issue voucher. So just in case anyone's interested, I didn't pay with cash. I used the credit that we had because we had £12 left over. We get to add that to the collection. I'm happy. I will find a manual somewhere. I will. These next two games, bangers. One of them, I won't go through the entire story because it's just really boring, but it's just something that I always remind my mother of. So there's a little market in my town, and it's still there, believe it or not. And there was a video game stall within that market, and they were selling a game that I really wanted as a kid. It must have been about 95, 94, 95, maybe even earlier actually. Anyway, I really wanted it, and it was 93. And she said, oh, on the way back, we'll get it on the way back. On the way back, guess what? It's gone. It's not there. That game was Street Fighter 2. I find it, because I didn't own it after that. I've never owned this game. I rented it a couple of times, but I've never owned it. So we're talking 30 years, nearly 29 years after I was promised this game on the way back from Marks and Spencer's that I never got. Guess what, ma'am? I got it now. So there it is. Is it complete? Unfortunately not. Is it falling apart? Yes, it is. It's not in very good condition. This was, and the next one incidentally, this was part of the boot sale footage that just isn't there. Thought it was recording, it wasn't. Got the two off the same person. The Simpsons. This is a banger. I never played this as a kid. The one that I really want actually is the Krusty's one. I had that on the Master System and I can't remember what it's called. Krusty's Funhouse or something. This is The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants. Played it for a little bit. That is a hard game. Is it complete? Yes, it is. This one, he wasn't really willing to budge, if I'm honest. He had 15 on it. No, 12? Something like, he had a really weird price. It wasn't 15, it was a really weird price. It was like 13 quid or something he had on it, and he had 5 on this. I managed to get both of those together for 15. So in the end, I can't really remember what, but I remember I basically got that for 3 and I got that for 12. Even though I think he wanted 13 for this and he wanted 5 for this. I don't know why he wanted such a weird number for this one. He didn't have any others, unfortunately. He did tell me that earlier in the day, and I didn't ask him, did he have any more earlier in the day, but he decided to tell me anyway. Oh yeah, I had a Sonic and Knuckles. Oh my days. So I had to. How much did you... Oh, tenner. Boxed as well, by the way. But yeah, £15 for those. Used a voucher to get that for a tenner. Still have £2 left on credit there. And then those two came to £6. We've picked up a lot of Mega Drive games there. That is 5 Mega Drive games to whack into the collection. Don't mind if I do. I'm really happy about these two. Those two, they're probably the ones that you see least often. Aladdin, FIFA, Rugby, you see them all the time. But Street Fighter 2 and The Simpsons, not games you see like every single day that you go to a boot sale or a charity shop or something. So I'm quite happy about that. Gonna sell the Guitar Hero to pay for this. In the future, I will pick up a Guitar Hero, but I think it's going to be on PS3 because we still have Rock Band on PS4, so I need a guitar, basically. So it's pointless keeping it for PS2 and then building up a Guitar Hero collection on PS2 when I probably want to do it on PS3 eventually anyway. So all those in the collection forget that the Aladdin game. So the other ones, what was it, £21 we've spent altogether. So it does kind of work out. I didn't think it would, but it does basically work out. And I think we might be end up spending £1. So £2 left in credit. Next episode, we dive straight back into another boot sale where I pick up a console, amongst other things. And this time, we are actually going to have things to trade. It's been a long time since I've gone into a CEX with things to trade and been rejected and then come home and cried about it. But maybe this time we will actually get to do that. That's going to be in a episode, actually. The next episode will be me going out and spending some of the profit. But that's going to do it for today. I do apologise if I've rambled on far too long about these things. But I was quite excited to add those to the collection. If you have enjoyed it, though, do me a favour and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until the next time, goodbye.